Denny that was
Yo,
neglected.
bro, can you let the NPC kill you?
Location was
Yeah.
updated due to privacy reasons.
Bro, the NPC has aimbot.
Research. This is really up
Yo, did you see me just
to
trying
right.
to run?
Concrete news article
Yeah.
anything else corroborating this, and I'm not sure how they could have
So
figured
does
out
the
the
NPC have aimbot?
They said they didn't know what it was during the video. Either way, still a really creepy clip with a possibly terrifying outcome.
Oh, isn't that NPC dangerous?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go AFK. If they kill me, don't come to save me, remember. I'll just be spectating.
100 dead.
Have you ever gotten a weird message from a bot? Maybe they're trying to sign you up for a super real dating site or attempting to rope you into doing something fishy. They're usually pretty easily identifiable and have predictable patterns. But what about when one suddenly pings you on social media and sends you a video link to the message? What is your impression of this video? Well, this happened to Reddit user on the subreddit r/RBI, they explained that they were suddenly notified that someone had used their username in a comment, which is rare for them. After clicking on the notification, they include this post which says, I was just permanently banned from r/S Reddit for spamming, comment bombing, etc. Despite the fact that I denied it. AMA. In the comments they say, yeah, these are the steps strong, great story. There's one such recording which does that does for me. The original I'm Yours is a bad record. It's musically very boring. This version is wonderful. The song is way better in the setting, when it's faster, and there are 4 girls singing, 1 on guitar and 3 on hand percussion. And it's dark at night, on the streets of Laguna Beach, for a police crowd. It's one of the best live recordings I know. User Canadian W. How does this recording make you feel? They reply confused, and this leads to them sending a hyperlink with the previously mentioned quote. What's your impression of this video? After clicking on the link, we'll greet it with this. She died in India 2 years later. 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 Ah, what avails the scepter grace? Ah, what the form divine? What every virtue, every grace? Rose ale, all were thine. Rose ale, whom these wakeful eyes may weep, but never see. A night of memories and of sighs. I have no idea what just happened. No, really, I have absolutely no clue this time. If you try to load their profile, nothing happens due to them being suspended. And if I try to find them on archive sites like Undid, nothing pops up. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get anywhere with this. And then I simply looked up their user in Google. Now we're getting somewhere. From what I can see, they were extremely active in both the
KK?
likely a sub they created, and Acid 2 girls. It seems like the community is split on them, some saying they're a weird guy, but others saying they're not that bad. However, one comment stuck out to me, this one saying that they asked classical music questions. We can also
Back!
requested a classical music performance. But why is this relevant? Well, W is extremely into classical music. This like
Hi.
Pardon me.
Wait, so you did just let Storm kill you?
just wanted to but that's just
Yes, maybe.
a game theory. Okay, let's get serious. What other
Oh, I
someone has
thought we'd have died from that height. My jump.
inside joke and attack the wrong person? It's possible
Well,
that this
actually, you use your fist to get up there and then just jump off.
random people. That
Yeah?
includes this video. Although these typically seem to be people they're
Uh-huh.
already interacting with,
Hello.
Use my fist to get up there and
saw
then just
the
jump
post
off.
on the classical music snub and decided to tag them.
Okay, I guess.
Overall, I'd like you
It
guys
sounds so rude just saying it, does it?
to it'll be tutorial.
Okay, now you have to jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Can I have the fist?
Ah! Yeah, I'm gonna drop all of my stuff.
Yeah.
Luxury
One
sports
sec.
cars are appealing to many people. They look sleek and rare, just the type of thing that people like to look at. Of course, on YouTube this is no exception. You can find tons of car showcase videos of almost any model out there. Of course, when someone becomes successful, they may want to buy one of these cars themselves. In this video, a guy showing off some
You know what I'm doing, do you?
It's pretty simple, not much to it. However, this video is extremely unnerving due to the story behind it. The YouTuber who made this video is McSkillet, a prominent member of the Skizzo community. Some of you may
Bye-bye.
remember him getting banned from CSGO trading or his fallout with popular
Let's
commentary,
see if I can solo cut
but others may
this.
remember him for a more infamous reason.
Bye bye.
Oh, did I have a victory coming on me?
If I win, you still earn it.
It's the unknown, the darkness, which we don't know what lies within. But I hold there's one thing scarier than the unknown. A really scary guy. Think about it. The unknown is scary
No,
because
it's
there's a
invincible.
50% chance of there being a really scary guy in it.
You know, I should get back to the treadmill.
He exercises so much, but he looks the same. So I
Yeah, was that kid invincible?
future.
Don't you believe anything Homer says? His first word was a lie. Who did this? Mammy, she did. Then I'm gonna withhold affection without telling her why.
I'm gonna show you my free build.
You're using your
Mess up.
expensive new treadmill just to watch it throw that one off the air 5 years
Shit, mess
ago.
up.
What does it mean?
It means use the treadmill for running or take a bath
And
Hello,
where
who
will I
is
watch
this
TV?
on the TV
Where
And where will I walk?
ground.
And where?
This is the stupidest fight ever.
We've had stupider. You know, I should get back.
Did he see what I did to him?
Yeah.
Tinkers, am I wrong for telling my fiance that she's useless in an emergency and shouldn't brag about how tough she is? I have a 9-month-old child named Amy with my fiance, Jess. About 4 months ago, Jess and I were walking home at night with Amy sleeping in her stroller. It was a suburban road that we've walked down hundreds of times. Suddenly, we heard several loud banging noises from around the corner. My first instinct was to check out where they came from, and so I jogged a couple of steps forward to peek and see what was going on. As it turns out, 2 teens were hitting the window of an SUV with a baseball bat. I watched them run away, get into a car, and peel out. I turned around to see Jess, but she wasn't there, and our child was left alone. I looked back the way we came to see her about 50 yards away, running like her life depended on it. Well, last night we were watching TV together, and there was a scene with a woman who was
Oh, I
frozen
swear,
in
it
tears
said
during an
someone's
ambulance attack.
raving,
Jess
didn't it?
scoffed and said that if it were her, she would have fought tooth and nail against any threat against our daughter. To which I responded, even a couple of kids breaking a car window with a baseball bat? Let's call it for what it is. You're kind of useless in an emergency. So, am I wrong for telling my fiance that she's useless in an emergency and shouldn't brag about how tough she is? I have a 9-month-old child named Amy with my fiance, Jess. About 4 months ago, Jess and I were walking home at night with Amy sleep.
This is no ordinary fat-sucking bug if you let it into your body. No matter how fat it may be putting its weight. An obese woman used it and immediately became a new person. She even became the company's spokesperson. After watching this, Henry also wants to try the one. So Pringles organization arranged various desserts. When everyone was puzzled, the boss explained that after using their products, you don't have to restrain your mouth. No need to exercise. You can also become very slim. Then the boss showed them the fat sucking up, but this scared him. Then he said that he was also a big fat man before everyone's pulling out their cash and trying to get skinny. Only Henry was still scared and refused. 2 weeks later, Henry is eating a hamburger.
Hey,
He
there's
saw
an actual build fight here.
Then a beautiful woman sat in front of him. He remembered that this woman was the
Yo,
same
there's a build
who
fight.
sat next to him. So he made up his mind this time. But it happened to be a total solar eclipse that all the fat-sucking bugs became restless. This is no ordinary fat-sucking bug if you let it enter your body. No matter how fat it may be. How are you holding, Jim?
I'm still trapped in the bank, Dad. What is the news saying?
A massive bank robbery took place, and there's 33 hostages inside.
They put us all in the vault, Dad. I don't know what to do. Someone tried to escape and is now in a coma.
Everything is gonna be okay. Just stay calm.
Did you tell the police I have my phone?
Yes, they're with me now. They said they want to speak to you.
Sure, but I can only text.
Hey, my name is Smith. Is this Ethan? Hey, I'm with the FBI. How's the situation?
Hostages were put in the vault. Will this be over soon?
I believe so. It's why I'm texting you, Ethan. The robbers disabled the cameras. There is no way for us to see this. Could you tell us what's happening?
Of course. There are about 6 men. They all are holding guns. They told everyone to get on the ground.
Do you see their faces?
No, they all are masked up.
I see.
But I did hear some names. One named Washington, and the other Jakarta.
Uh-huh,
I also heard
so
Berlin and Moscow.
That's perfect. We're getting closer.
Wow, how is that?
We know this organization. It's the Capitals. We named their membranes from capital cities around the world. The bad news.
Turning American classic scene. Cereal. I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like I'm so surprised that the cereal aisle has been disrupted. Like, the same flavors have been around since, like, the 1860s, and I feel like a cereal brand could totally stand out by experimenting with ingredients from different cultures around the world. It'd be so cool if a kid in 2024 could just bring dessert from their culture to lunch, and instead of being laughed at by their they'd be like, oh yeah, I have this like tasty ass cereal that also used black sesame and miso vanilla, and it looked just like your dessert, and it was so good. Like, I just love this idea of being able to use an iconic sugary American food as a Trojan horse to teach kids about culture. One of my dreams has been to start an Asian American cereal brand, so these are my toasted sesame Cheerios, because sometimes when the world is on fire, it's okay to feel a little dreary.
I asked Bing to create.
This was a magical soap with just a gentle rub. Any colored fabric turned white. The onlookers saw this. They rushed to buy it. Even the monks in the temple couldn't resist the temptation. They followed others to wash themselves white. They felt they needed to do this to keep up with the trend. The vendor made a lot of money. His small stall became a small shop. Soon it turned into a soap store. Finally, it became a big soap company. He became a super rich man. An old man who had been watching for years finally bought the soap. He washed himself and his granddaughter white. However, the soap had side effects. Everyone in the small town turned white. People got tired of the look. Then a little girl dressed in bright colors caught everyone's attention. They followed her to the big soap company. The girl was the vendor's daughter, and the big soap store had become a big paint company. He picked up a red soap with a gentle rub. The white cloth quickly turned red. Then he tried yellow and blue. People got excited. They lined up again. Their clothes became colorful again, but their money went into the vendor's pocket. Did you understand this animated short? This was a magic.
The man is drinking coffee when he realizes
Whoa, that's good.
he senses that his wife has poisoned the coffee. Hearing his wife say that she already died, the man decisively gets up and staggers towards the balcony. The wife followed after him, pretending to pray for her husband's forgiveness. The husband simply says that his wife will regret it, and then jumps right off the building. The wife looks at her dead husband and smiles an evil smile. She then took out her husband's computer and tried to delete the movie of her killing 40 years ago. Little did she realize that in addition to the password, she would need her husband's face verification. The woman rushed to the balcony in a panic and looked down at her husband. Her husband's face has been broken, and the woman realizes what her husband said before he died. But the woman quickly finds a prop maker friend and pretends that her husband died unexpectedly. She feels very sad, requesting her friend to make a model of her husband for her. The friend obliged her. After receiving the model, the woman quickly verified and deleted the movie. What she doesn't know is that the original tape of the movie is now in the hands of her friend. The man is drinking coffee when he realizes something terrible.
He senses this man was experiencing a significant moment. He was seeing the baby's skin color. The doctor didn't know what to say. Charlie's expression was another I gave my triplets. Charlie loved her so much that he didn't want to face reality. A grandkid reminded him. Charlie explained. My great grandmother. Not long after, his wife left with her lover, leaving the 3 children with Charlie. Charlie raised them alone. But as a traffic cop, Charlie became a stop to the town. He told a man to move on. The man taught symptoms and told him to move himself. The neighbor's dog moved on Charlie's lawn, but that neighbor did not know about it. The neighbor deliberately cut a line in front of him. An evil version of Charlie was created. Drove the moving parking lot, smashed into the glass, and drove into the owner's school. In 2 days, he marched into his neighbor's house, took back his newspaper, and pulled down his pants, and pooped on the neighbor's lawn. Charlie soon he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. This man was experiencing a significant moment.
What is the most unforgettable sentence that someone said to you? My wife was 3 months pregnant. We were in a hotel in Rome.
You're doing good, Ethan.
At 11 p.m., I heard my wife get out of bed and go to the bathroom. A minute later, she stepped out. Said,